Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to your Lunch Break Live. My name is Ivana if you're new here. If you're not, thank you for coming back. Today is Monday, August the 16th, and we're actually talking about something that's going to happen tomorrow, and that is the Birmingham mayoral debate. This debate is just coming up about a week before the election. We're going to tell you all about the debate, who's participating, how you can watch, but today you might recognize the face next to me. I'm joined by our own columnist, Roy S. Johnson. Roy is here to help me break this down about this debate, what we're looking forward to learning, who we're expecting to participate, and more. So, Roy, thank you for coming on here, for breaking this down. And, this is a big race coming up.
Oh, no question. Ivana, this has been evolving for years. It's been evolving almost actually since Mayor Woodfin was elected in 2017. There was a lot of anticipation about who was going to run, a lot of speculation. And so the field is one that shaped up to be one that everybody expected there. Former Mayor William Bell, County Commissioner LaShonda Scales, Philemon Hill, Sarissa Brown, a new person, and several others, Chris Woods, who's run before. So those of us who have been watching have kind of been sitting back with popcorn and saying, okay, all right, let's see what happens. This is a vital race. I know there's a lot of talk when there's a presidential race and not as many people come out for their local elections. But let's face it, the local elections are the ones that impact our lives more. The mayoral elections, the city council elections, the school board elections, all of which are up at this point. So, it is vital for people to participate, understanding that these elections will impact their lives, their neighborhoods, their schools over the next 4 years. In 2017, I believe it was about 38,000 people that voted in the general election, and a little over 42,000 when there was a runoff between Randall Woodfin and William Bell. So hopefully we can get those numbers up because there's nothing better than having a full as much participation by the electorate in the election, so that we feel confident that the person has been chosen, that has really been chosen by the people.
Well, in this debate tomorrow, here is how you can watch it. It's going to start at 6:30 p.m. That's Central Standard Time tomorrow. You can watch it on AL.com's Facebook page, so right here, on AL.com's YouTube page, also right here, and on AL.com on the website if you don't use social media. Now, you can also watch it through some of our partners. So here is who is partnering with us to bring you this debate. This is a joint effort between AL.com, WBHM, the Birmingham Times, CBS 42, Summit Media, and the Birmingham Association of Black Journalists. Now, all of us are working together to put on this debate, and we have invited all 8 candidates, as Roy mentioned, to the stage. So, Roy, why don't you tell us a little bit about these candidates? There are some that we know. We know that current Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin is running. We know that former Mayor William Bell is also running. And we know, again, another one you mentioned is Jefferson County Commissioner LaShonda Scales. They are running in this race. Tell us about the other several candidates that we have.
It's always intriguing when you have a race like this because you have a combination of well-known names and not so well-known names. Quite frankly, some of the people I'd not even heard of until they decided to run for mayor, but that doesn't make them any, less worthy of running. I mean, that's the great thing about our process. You fill out the form, you pay the fee, you can be on the ballot. So we have a great combination of entrepreneurs, activists, mental health experts, people who are clearly passionate about this city and bring a certain level of expertise, at least in an area to it. Their presence often can move the conversation. It can move it in a particular direction that it may not have gone in had they not been there. So I think it's great that we have a number of people who felt strong enough about this city, who want to take a leadership role, and we're giving everyone the opportunity to participate in this debate, each one of them, so that the public can hear what their passion is and what their vision is for this city.
Well, and two, we know, again, we've invited all 8 candidates to the debate stage. That's a big debate, Roy. There's going to be a lot that is going to have to be covered here. There's going to be a lot of questions that I know our different panelists have. We do have a panelist from each of those media organizations that I just mentioned. I have a comment here from, I believe it's gone up here. I don't have your name. I believe it was Steven said, where's the list of these candidates? So that list is on AL.com. We've put the link to our story here in the comment thread. You can click on that link. It'll give you the different media organizations we're partnering with. It'll also give you information how to watch the debate, and it will give you the list of those candidates who are running for the position. Now, Roy, I'm looking forward to hearing what you want to know from these candidates. But first, let me ask you something. And this is something that I've heard from a lot of people. And I think a lot of people assume that all races are run between a Democrat and a Republican, or even throw in an independent or a libertarian in there, but they are run on a party basis. The mayoral race is not like that. So explain to us how that works.
So none of our municipal races are run like that. If you are interested in running, it really doesn't matter what party or whether you're an independent. You pay the fee, you fill out the form, you qualify, you're in. So this is really a nonpartisan race, as all municipal races are here in the city. So it's not about Democrat, it's not about Republican and the debates that we've seen how can be so divisive in those areas. It's truly about what's your vision, what are your qualifications, and how are you going to put together a team that's going to help Birmingham move forward. It's not about what your party affiliation is, or who you agree or disagree with on the national level. What is your vision and what is your plan, and how is Birmingham going to be better with you as mayor?
Do you think that in a race like this, in a city election, it doesn't even have to be Birmingham, take any of our cities when we run for race, we know that there is a Mobile mayoral race coming up as well. When you look at these races, does it really matter if somebody is registered as a Republican, a Democrat, an independent? Is that something that you think voters should really dig into and look at? Or do you think it's just more about their platform for the position?
Man, I wish that we went back to the days, or we could go to the days when it really didn't matter for any race, that we just, let everybody vote based on positions, based on ideas, based on strategies, and not so much based on party. As we know, Alabama is a very partisan state, and I think sometimes that holds us back because someone may put party ahead of people. You've heard that term many times, and someone may vote for someone strictly because of the party they're in, as opposed to their plan or their purpose. So it's too bad that we've gotten to this point where, again, some people just don't do the homework and vote for someone just based on their party. It's great. That's what I think is great about these municipal elections, because it's not about your party. It's about your plan, your strategy, and who you are as a person. You got to sell yourself as a person to an electorate, particularly on the local level, and particularly here in Alabama, it can get pretty dicey. It can get pretty petty sometimes. People have been wrestling with each other. They've known each other. Many of them have known each other for years, and they've battled out in public. They've battled behind the scenes. And so it can get pretty tense at these local elections. So it's really not about party. It's about the person and your plan. And I think that that's even better.
Well, and that's, it's interesting because, as we were saying earlier, those of us maybe who are not involved in media, or maybe who aren't involved in politics and deal with that every day, we just assume that these races are run based on party. So it's interesting just to remember that there was a time where party really didn't matter as much as it seems to matter to a lot of people today. Now, there's a comment here I think is interesting, and it's about the census. So, Roy, we saw a lot of interesting data come out of the census last week when those numbers were released. One of the most interesting things to people in the city of Birmingham was that Birmingham is no longer the biggest city in Alabama. That is a huge deal. Birmingham has been the biggest city in Alabama for a long time. Huntsville has now taken that position. Do you think that that fact is going to play into the mayoral race in Birmingham?
Oh, absolutely. I think that there will be questions, and some people being critical of the current administration and trying to put some of that in their laps, when the reality is that the evolution of the population across the state has been happening over many years, if not decades. And it happens for a lot of different reasons. People move in and out of cities for jobs, for schools, and for a lot of different factors. So, but of course, if you're not the incumbent, and you're trying to, nice, like in sports, if you're trying to knock the champion down, you got to take every shot you can. You got to swing for the fences. So I think we're going to see people who are not in the seat trying to use every bit of ammunition they have to throw at the incumbent to help people think that maybe there should be another person in that seat. So I think it'll absolutely be a factor. Someone will likely bring it up. But again, the changing of the electorate, of the population, is something that evolves over time. And I think more people are focused and interested in what happens in their neighborhood, what happens in their school, what happens to their children. So it'll be a factor for the debate. But I think for most citizens, the issues are related to them, their safety, their kids' education, their economic opportunity, and things that we all know that impact people as soon as they walk out their front door.
There's 8 candidates. We've invited all 8 to our debate tomorrow. With 8 candidates, Roy, how likely is it that there's a runoff in this election?
Typically, when you have a field this large, it's very difficult for one candidate to pull that 50% plus one vote. So it's really up in the air. I think it's probably 50-50 that we could end up in a runoff. I think every candidate in this race is mentally prepared for a runoff. If it doesn't happen, so be it. But if you're not prepared for a runoff, then you're doing yourself a disservice. I think every candidate will run as hard as they can in the general election, and those who are seeking to get the office and who feel that they have an opportunity to get that 50% threshold, they will be doing everything they can to get their folks out to vote on election day 8 days from now. So, but I think that they're also prepared for a runoff, because that's you have to be prepared for that when you have 5 people in a race, let alone 8. It's just hard to pull more than 50% the larger the field is.
It's a big field. Again, we know that election day is August the 21st or 24th, excuse me. That is a week from tomorrow, hence the timing of our debate. Again, this mayoral debate is tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 6:30 Central Time. You can watch it on AL.com's Facebook, YouTube, or on the website. You also can watch it through our partners, which are Summit Media, CBS 42, the Birmingham Times, WBHM, and the Birmingham Association of Black Journalists. So, Roy, I know that you're excited for this debate tomorrow. I know that you have some questions that you are ready to fire off. I'm sure they will be tough questions, but that's what we need. So, Roy, thank you for breaking down this debate for us. And everybody, again, we're going to leave the link here for information on how you can watch that debate. If you have a question that you think needs to be asked, please let us know. And otherwise, we will see you virtually, I should say, at the debate tomorrow. So, Roy, thank you again.
Absolutely.